But let's look at our lessons for the week. Our lesson, I'm not sure. Don't remember if we have one lesson or two lessons this week. We'll pull it up here. I don't remember. I was working on all that last Friday, and I had a weekend and slept. But all right. So looking at our computer and network security fundamentals, I'm going to go to the grade screen and see what we had assigned today. Okay, we're doing one lesson a week. This is a pretty easy paced course. So we're doing Cybersecurity 101 today. So this should be pretty easy. One a week won't be bad at all. So we'll have a little easier time here. It does have that academic integrity contract there first. So after you've submitted that, make sure you click this button down in the corner. It says mark this activity complete or Buzz won't let you see anything. So submit the Google form and then mark this activity complete, because then you can't do anything until that's done. So, all right. Let's look at lesson 1.01 for this week. Get started in this good stuff. Oh, it has a nice dark color background for all of this. Okay. What comes to mind when you think of the term cybercrime? Oh, I tell you, cybercrime is daily. It's everywhere. Computers are getting hacked. It's amazing. I went to, if you have an MSN, like a Microsoft Network login, MSN login, and sometimes some Windows computer require you to have that. You can go to your account and see who is attacking your account. I may do that next week. I wasn't prepared to do that. Let me see. MSN.com. I went there last year and was looking at that, and there was like 30 attacks an hour trying to log into my account from all over the world. And it would tell you everywhere in the world that people are trying to hack into there. And it was just absolutely mind boggling to see that. And it's like, my goodness, cyber crime is a huge thing. My wife's email account, her old email account that she had for years, got hacked. Was it 2 Augusts ago? Yeah, in August, 2 years ago, they hacked in her account. And since it wasn't the account she used very regularly, they were able to get in there. And once they got into her email, they changed the password, so they had access to it. And then they started sending password reset requests to like eBay, PayPal, Walmart, Amazon, every website they could think of. They would go there and try to log in as her and say, oh, reset my password. And so if she actually had an account, it would send a password request to her email, which they had control over. So they would change the password and log into all these other accounts. They got into her eBay and they got into, I don't know, several different things. I had to go back. Once I regained control of her email, I had to go back and see what all emails were sent to her account to reset the password, because they were in there fishing, trying to find some saved credit cards. Fortunately, she had not saved the credit card on any of those websites, but they were trying to get her information in there and rip us off big time. So I really hesitate saving any credit cards online anymore, just because once they get in there, they'll go crazy. So who do you think is most vulnerable to cybercrime? We all are. I mean, it is happening daily. It's a computer and a network. This type of crime threatens the security of a person, a business, or even a nation. I know lots of countries like North Korea, who doesn't even have electricity for all of its people, has a huge cybercrime division where they have people that are constantly trying to hack into other countries' websites and defenses and all kinds of crazy stuff like that. So as technology grows, so does cybercrime. All of our devices, video doorbells, Wi-Fi connected lights, everything can be subject to an attack. Something's going on at my house right now. For the last 2 weeks, I'll be sitting there in the living room and my lights will turn off. My lights are hooked up to Alexa and the light will just go off. And if I look on there, I can see Alexa did not hear a command to turn off the lights, but it received a command over the internet. to turn off these lamps. And so it's like, I don't know what's going on. It's crazy stuff. So cyber criminals have been known to hold governments for ransom by shutting down their networks, demanding payments. That's called a ransomware attack. I'm sure you've heard of those happening. Ransomware. If we click on ransomware there, it says it's a type of malicious software to block access until money is paid. Interestingly enough, I have a friend I know. Actually, the lady cuts my hair. I was talking to her. Her husband got cheated out of $5,000. They Googled up. They had a new printer and it wasn't connecting right. So they Googled up, like it was like a Canon printer. So they went to Google and typed Canon customer service, and this phone number come up, and it was a fake phone number that someone had bought an ad and made it look like it was Canon printers. Bought this ad. They called the 800 number, and it was hackers. And they convinced them, oh, well, the reason it won't connect is because there's a ransomware on your computer and you have to pay $5,000 in Bitcoin before they'll release it. And he actually did it. He fell for it. It was all fake. It was all hackers. I mean, it wasn't even hackers. It was just scammers telling him he was hacked. So there's an organization like the FBI Internet Crime Complaint Center. They work to protect the country from cyber crimes, but cyber criminals are smart. They constantly adapt. They create tools to stay ahead of law enforcement. There's brute force attacks, which they gain control of networks. It's a trial and error method used to obtain information like username and passwords, personal identification numbers. They can use viruses, zombie computers. It's computers connected to the internet that has been compromised by a cyber criminal, a computer virus, or a Trojan horse. And they can use those zombie computers to attack other computers. So it's a big business. Here's some of the stats from the FBI. There were 351,936 complaints of internet crimes submitted to the FBI in the year 2018 alone, in 1 year. Most common were scams on electronic purchases, personal data breaches, and extortion. 1.3 billion social media users worldwide have had their social media accounts hacked. That's true. My wife's Facebook was attacked when they got her password on her email 2 years ago, and they changed everything. They changed her login, her email address associated with their Facebook, her phone number associated with Facebook, and we can't get it back. So her Facebook's gone. They have control of her Facebook. They're not posting anything to it, but they went to it to see what all they could find, and they changed everything. And Facebook does not have customer service. If you have a problem with your account, you can't call Facebook and fix it. There's no internet site to go fix it. The only customer service Facebook has is if you're an advertiser. But for users, so it's gone. She can't get her account back. Let's see. The illegal sale of prescription drugs was a potential $1.9 billion opportunity. Let's see. The costliest crimes were investment scams, business and email compromises, romance confidence fraud. But internet crimes in 2018 exceeded $2.7 billion. They make a lot of money doing that. That's why they keep doing it. Cybersecurity has increased in the last years and it's not stopping anytime soon. So cybersecurity basically is just the practice of protecting systems, networks, and programs from attacks, either personal attacks or large-scale attacks. You can click on that link and it'll tell you that basic same thing. A large-scale attack could involve power plants, hospitals, banks, all kinds of stuff. Cybersecurity is very essential. So there's many layers to it. You need strong network protection. You need firewalls to prevent cyber attacks. You need content filtering for just like web and email. And then you need virus protection for stuff that's behind the scenes you can't see in your email or nothing. And companies should train employees to recognize things that are suspicious, recognize emails that are suspicious. And you should have policies regarding computer use. So cybersecurity engineers create and maintain a system that prevents cyber attacks. They got to stay up to date. The first one's called if a network goes down, because cybersecurity is usually involved, because when networks go down, it's oftentimes some kind of attack on the system. Let's look at the different kind of threats. There's cyber threats and there's vulnerabilities. They're not necessarily the same. Cyber threats is a deliberate attempt to get into a network, to get into a computer, right? They're looking for something. They're looking for vulnerabilities. They're looking for ways they can get in that are not protected. So let's look at an example of threats. Malware, that is software that's specifically designed to damage or cause problems in the computer system. Phishing is trying to get personal information. You get those fake emails. your Netflix account has been suspended. You need to re-log in, and it's a fake website wanting to get your login information. You get those all the time. Spear phishing, it's an email or electronic communication scam targeted towards a specific individual, organization, or business. Someone that's specifically, they're not sending out thousands of these emails. They're targeting individuals or certain businesses. Ransomware is where they block access to your computer. They lock your computer up where you can't get into it till you pay money. And then Trojan, it's a type of malicious code or software. It looks legitimate, but can take control of your computer. Those are all types of threats. Now let's look at vulnerabilities. A bug could cause a problem, and that's just an error or a fault in a computer program. Wasn't anything intentional, but there's a vulnerability because of some bug that allows hackers to get into your system. Maybe already infected. If there's computers already infected, hackers can take advantage of that. If there's missing encryption, there's supposed to be some kind of security block and it's missing. If it's a weak password, right? If you don't, they start to make passwords longer and longer and require more passwords to help with that weak password problem. And URL redirections, right? You think you're going to this website and it'll redirect you and you end up another fake website. That's another vulnerability. So down here is a place where you can check if you know the difference. Try your hand. So in the lesson, read this and guess, is this a vulnerability or a threat? There's 4 of those for you there. So we won't go over that in class. Give you something to do on your own there, but that's the way you can check. Is this a vulnerability or a threat? Look at page 4, information assurance. The internet's full of personal information. Everything about you is online. Everything about me is online. Businesses put that out there. Your Instagram handle, your email address, your profile pictures are all information out there that shouldn't be shared lightly. But there's certain sensitive information where security is especially important, like your social security number, your birth certificate, any bank accounts, credit card accounts, anything like that. Used to be physical hard copies, but now everything's out there for the right hacker to get to it. So there's information assurance careers. Let's look at some of the careers. It's a field that works to ensure confidence that information will be accessible only by authorized users, right? Because when we share things, we don't want to share it with everybody. Cyber security fields prevent and defend against the attacks on these computer systems. Information assurance degree programs typically include many of the same type of courses of cyber security, but also include like cryptography, data analysis, information assurance, other things. But there's good careers in both of these, information assurance and cybersecurity. Cybersecurity is becoming more and more important. You can make a great career in that. The speed of sharing, think about how that's changed a lot. When I was, well, heck, just 20 years ago, there was payphones. You still find payphones everywhere. When you were born, there was payphones. Now everyone has a cell phone in their pocket, so payphones have disappeared. If you find one, it's probably in the museum. They've been replaced by cell phones. Written letters have been replaced by emails, social media, texting. Even most bills now are not even mailed to your house. They send you an email. Watching TV is primarily you watch probably more streaming and on your phone than you do on TV nowadays. Even printed newspapers are stopping printing papers, and they're doing it all on the website where you got to subscribe to their website instead of getting it delivered to houses. So everything's changing a lot. Here's an important impact on security. While convenient, the speed at which information can be shared has created its own challenges. If you share a vacation photo on social media, a would-be robber might say, oh, they're not home. Look, they're in London. Making you an easy target. That's why they encourage you, if you go on vacation, don't post any pictures till you get back. Because it just tells people your house is empty. And that happens a lot too. You can Google that up and find story after story online about that. Important documents can be easily accessed on the internet now. Usually banking customers have to go to your bank to get transactions. Now you can check your balance, deposit checks, everything on your phone. Lots of sensitive information is out there now. So cybersecurity, cyber criminals have lots of access to stuff they shouldn't. So here's the timeline for cybersecurity. Early 70s, the first computer virus created. 50 years ago, the Creeper. So the first antivirus program was called the Reaper to stop the Creeper. Late 1980s, that's when computer viruses and cyber criminals really started making a hand on things. The 1990s, the internet, the internet becomes popular. In the 90s, email threats and malware become more sophisticated. In the 2000s, website vulnerabilities, stolen identities, worms, network security breaches. In 2010, spear phishing, fast morphing malware, wireless attacks, social engineering, all kinds of problems. So that's our opening lesson for cybersecurity. We have your assignment. I think it's just a multiple choice. You have 3 attempts. You see this. So if you struggle, you have 5 multiple choice questions today over lesson 1. So you can go back and read through lesson 1. Make sure you know the difference between the different terms that were used. And like it's asking like what event took place in the 2010s, which one of these was the first ones, so go back and look at that information and you have a 5-question assignment. That's it. Pretty simple this week. We'll get into some cool stories, some fun things about this, but we'll work our way through all the cybersecurity details this year. So, all right, everybody good? Any questions? All right. We'll see you guys next Monday. If you have questions, I'll come to class Wednesday or Friday, but otherwise I won't see you till next week. Have a great week.